this call where we will be having a conversation with none other than our esteemed coach, educator, and motivator, Ms. Tasha M. Dyer. She is a U.S. Army Major retired. She is a financial advisor. She is no stranger to finance. She has 100% of the information. Please tune in, take notes, pay attention, and get ready. For after that, we'll have a talk with the finance doctor. And at this time, I have the honor to introduce to you and to open up this call to Ms. Tasha M. Dyer. Ms. Dyer, are you on the call?
Yes, I am. And thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give this back to Mr. Love Phillips, because what he's doing in the Jacksonville market, the footprint that he is leaving, he is definitely changing lives. So I just want to thank you very much for hosting the call this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our BYOB. This is a power packed Catching Pips Thursday. Be your own bank. And what we're doing is we're putting you in a position to win. We are putting you in a position. We're putting you in a position to where you can literally enroll into the platform, take advantage of all the tools, and then once you do that, put you in a position of profit. So what I want to do right now is we've been talking about how you can enroll. And so we're going to go back and we're going to capture the web analyzer. We want to show you how you can begin from the very, very beginning, how you can put yourself in a position of profit from day one. That's what we're talking about tonight, is how do you put yourself in a position of profit from day one while you're learning the information. So give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the web analyzer. And hold on, I got an echo on here. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the web analyzer. Now, what this tool is designed to do is so many different strategies. So we're gonna go through this and we're gonna recap. But first, what I want you to understand and what I want you to see is our coach, our mentor, Mr. Gerald D. Rogers he is the spokesperson for the web analyzer. So you're honored. It's an honor that we literally get to be here in this platform where we have him as a coach and a mentor, because the entire company hears from him. The entire company gets to understand who he is and his credentials. However, we have the fortunate opportunity to be able to work directly with him. So this is the initial page of the web analyzer. This is when you log on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to.
Wow, folks, I'm just absolutely amazed to know that I'm a part of an organization looking to empower and impact lives across the globe. I've been in this space for over 20 years, commercial banking, lending, and when I look at the web analyzer in comparison to what the big banks of the world utilize, that web analyzer is equivalent, far exceeds the expectation that I was anticipating after having that experience in the investment market. So folks, for those of you who don't understand the magnitude of what you have your hands on, I encourage you, I challenge you to take a deeper dive and realize that literally you have in your own hands the power to become your own bank and allow us to be a partner to empower you economically, financially, and leave a true legacy.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the web analyzer. This is a tool that is designed to put you in profit. This tool has so many different aspects of it to where no matter what your personality is, no matter what your education level is, no matter where you begin or where you start from, whether you have heard of foreign exchange market or you know nothing about the foreign exchange market at all, this tool is literally here to put you in a position to win. And that's why this is Catching Pips. That's exactly why this is a Catching Pips Thursday, because we're going to show you exactly how you do that. Now, this is tier 1, and this is what we're going to be talking about this evening. But I still want to highlight to you every option that you have, because each one of you on this call might be at a different level. So if I'm going to tier 1, where they have trade ideas and there's no analysis needed. So we have free trade ideas, and then we have the London payout. Now, as you begin, your personality might be, you know what, I don't want to do a lot of heavy lifting, regardless of how much I know about the foreign exchange market. Or as you begin to learn, here is tier 2, where we have little to no analysis with power trades. So the power trades literally have little to no analysis. So we have 6 different power trades that are available to you based on how you like to trade and your personality. Now, then we have minimal analysis, where we have volume burst. So understand that when I click this link, there are many different strategies. Don't look at it and don't be overwhelmed by what you see, because yes, there are many different strategies, but just like we have different individuals and different people on this call, each one of us are different. So we're going to look at a strategy, and we're going to look at it a little bit different than a person to my left and a person to my right. So even though we're looking at the exact same screen, the exact same foreign exchange market, what happens is when I look at this, when I look at it, I might see something just a tad bit different. So the triple fire might work for someone, and then the Sharif strategy might work for someone else. So you have the ability, and then it's broken down by scalping and short trades. It's broken down by the medium intraday trades, and then it's broken down by swing trading, which each one of these is different. So I'm in and out the market. I'm catching a few pips and I'm out, 10 pips and dip. I'm in and I'm out. Or intraday, where it's a little longer, or there's a little bit more setup, but at the same time, I'm not in the market for days at a time. But then swing trading, I could be in the market for days and weeks, even months. So it just all depends on you. But you also have strategies for your metals, your binary, and then the original strategies from when this tool became effective. So that is what we have. Now, when you come, you can trade anything from foreign exchange, crypto, indices, and metals. So all of this is available for you to be able to trade. And then the education. How do I know which one of these strategies fit me? How do I know which one of these strategies I want to utilize? Well, guess what? The education is there as well. So if I come here, I click on the education, I can come to the education center where you get different strategies, and everything is here. So you have different strategies, and then it'll link you to the YouTube page as well. Now, if I go back, and I want to go live, what's going to happen is they have educators, and they have some in English and they have some in Spanish. So this is linked, but I can click here to watch Dr. Kathy and talk about her strategy, or Granville, and then I have Sharif, and then I have Lee. So each one of these educators are also here. But then you, like I said, you can also go directly into IML TV, or it's just so many options for you. But we're gonna go back home, because what we're doing tonight is we're gonna focus on tier 1, because whether you have just enrolled or you've been doing this for a while, I take advantage of the London Payout. Your schedule might be busy. You might have different things going on. So the analysis is done for you. There is no heavy lifting. There's nothing that you personally have to do. So if I click here and I click London Payout, it's going to automatically pull that up. But I want to show you something. And you want to make sure because, oh, well, let me show you something. Because we're focused on the London Payout tonight. But if I'm looking and I have the trade ideas, as you can see, we just looked at those 4 educators. Well, what they're doing is they're sending out trade ideas. So each one of them, so this is an update to something he previously put out. So this is an update. And then you got Dr. Kathy talking about she's looking at a buy. And now she's looking at a buy on another currency pair. So you're getting these updates, and all of these were today. If you look, all of these came out today. So each one of these is, like I said, the analysis is done for you. All you have to do is literally plug and play. So if I go to the London Payout, which is where we are now. Now, as you can see, it didn't populate. This is the ECC strategy. That's what you see. But as you can see, it did not populate because he's giving you the information. He's giving you what you need to do. So this was an update for a trade idea. This is an update for a trade idea. So this is an update. So here it is. He's giving you updates, but then as you can see, it's in red, meaning a sell. And if I come down, it's in green, meaning a buy. So they give you the information, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So they're letting you know exactly what you're looking for. Now, he says, I'm thinking about a sale. So it says, I'm thinking about a sale. And this is the information that he put out there. So he's looking at this currency pair, GBP AUD. And now this is the call price that he's looking at. And this is the time frame. So all you have to do is market execution, right? And he gives you the potential to take profits. And he gives you your stop loss. So if I'm looking at take profit 1, and then take profit 2, and then take profit 3. Now, if you don't know any analysis or you don't know how to do anything but enter and exit a trade, you don't know how to mark up the charts, you have not gotten that far yet, then you want to always be cautious. You want to go with take profit 1. Now, as it begins to move forward, then you want to be able to push your take profit. So you can always manually push that take profit to where you can actually be in profit, to where you can actually continue to go with what he's doing. Because as you can see, he came back a little bit later and said take profit 1 hit. So now you can see, he says once it breaks the support, he's putting in a trailing stop and letting it ride to take profit 2. Only when it breaks take profit 1 support. So what he's doing is also letting you know what he's doing step by step by step by step. So before I show you the accuracy of this, I want to pause for a moment and let me know, do we have any questions? Do we have any comments? Any questions, any comments? Because I want to make sure each one of you are with me. Okay. Now, the web analyzer, when I first log in and I first look at this, what I'm doing to get to the London, I showed you how you can click it from there. But the London Payout is alongside all of my power trades, which were in tier 2. So I have my trade ideas that are at the top, but then in those indicate and highlight those 4 educators that we just saw. But then I have my power trades, which are tier 2. However, the London Payout is also along in there with the power trades. And when I click it, that's when I get the ideas. He's also on Telegram because we're not always on the web analyzer. So he pushes the alert out via Telegram. And when you get the alert via Telegram, then you have to actually log into the web analyzer to see what the currency pair and what the alert actually is. So now, is there any questions? Will the playback of this be available? Yes, it will. And I can drop the YouTube link in here in just a moment. So I definitely would do that. And so it'll actually be on our YouTube channel, our BYOB YouTube channel. So it definitely will have a playback.
Tasha, this is Stacy. How do you get the telegrams sent to you?
How did I get the? Now I can. Let me drop that in here too.
Okay, thanks.
Just as we're adding to that, folks, I just want to let you know, this is Gerald D. Rogers of Jacksonville. For all our guests, our new business partners, for those of you who have been looking, wanting to accelerate your profitability, this is one of the simplest ways to instantly get you into the market as you are growing in your analytics and your technical analysis. And just so you know, the London Payout is an extremely profitable time frame. Since the month of April, actually they started handing this out in March, and for the month of March, over 2,200, I'm going to say that again, over 2,200 pips have been gained simply by the London Payout. That's the accuracy. 49 trades and 44 have been accurate. So that's a tremendous high percentage, but 2,200 pips. And for those of you who are trying to figure it out as you are learning the additional things that we're teaching and sharing with you, this is the easiest way that we can get you in profit by taking advantage of the London Payout, and you can experience profitability within your first 24 hours of getting into the organization. So I just wanted to add that commentary.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. And while he was just speaking, what I did is I copied and pasted from the Telegram the actual his welcome message. So as you can see, that's the Telegram. So you can actually join the Telegram with that link that I just posted in the chat. Also, I posted the YouTube channel. So that's our YouTube channel. Go subscribe. And that's where you'll find the trainings, and then you'll find this training as well. This is where it'll be uploaded. So the Telegram as well as the YouTube channel are now in the chat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna show you exactly how you can take advantage of this. I wanna show you so you're not blindly taking the trades and you don't know, you haven't been figured out how to analyze it yet. You haven't done any of that, but I just wanna show you. So he called the GBP AUD. And when he called the GBP AUD, he called it at the call price 1.83897. And then we had the entry point and it was a sale. So this is when he called it. Now, as you can see, it hit take profit 1. Let me change these back to regular candles. So you can see. So this is when he called it, because he called it at 157. So it was in here before it changed to this next candle, but he called for a sale. As you can see, it retraced a little bit and went back up, but it came down and it hit take profit 1. Now, when it hit take profit 1, and all this information is in that London Payout information. All the information is there. And when it hit take profit 1, you're talking about 20 pips right there. And then it hit, he also said take profit 2. Now, you don't automatically jump in and take your take profit 2 unless you know how to mark up your chart, you know how to do your analysis, unless you know how to do all of that. And what those yellow lines are that you see on here are, of course, support and resistance lines. But because whether you know how to do it or you don't know how to do it yet at all, this is how you can know that what I'm showing you tonight is to show you, like Mr. Rogers just told you how many pips were called. He just told you how many pips people profited for the month. But what I'm showing you now is the accuracy, so you know how it works and why it works as you're learning. because all I did is come to the chart and I marked it. So this is actually take profit 1. And so at take profit 1, we're at 20 pips. But yet it went to take profit 2, which gave me 34 pips from when we entered. So after it entered. So almost 35 pips, depending on your spreads and everything, but almost 35 pips that you were put in a position of profit just because of the London payout and somebody doing the heavy lifting for you. Do we have any questions? Questions, comments? No questions, no comments. Okay. So he had another one that was also called on here. So I'm just scroll over before I change currency pairs. Now, you look at when this was called. This was actually called on the 16th, but he called it at 1.83125. This is when he called this currency pair. Let me see if I can make this bigger. And I can actually take this off. I want to make sure you all can see. Okay, so this is when he called this currency pair. Now, as you can see, the market went through some consolidation. And I'm showing you this one specifically because when you see the market, even though he called it, he has already done his analysis. He knows what he's looking for and everything else. But what you want to understand is that because I see my trade going in a profit and then loss and profit and loss, you don't want to just jump out of the trade because, and I'm highlighting that because if you are not familiar with trading yet, if you are not familiar with marking up charts, if you're not familiar with doing the analysis, then when you see your profits going, you go from profit to loss to profit to loss, that can be concerning. And that, you know, that can give you a little anxiety because you're unfamiliar and you're not aware. But that's why I'm showing you, because if this is my entry line, if this was my entry point, then yes, you see, I went into profit, then I went into loss, then I went into profit, then I went into loss, and I went into profit. And as you can see, you actually hit take profit 1. Now, and before we hit take profit 2, it went back up. Now, if I know some analysis, then I would know looking at this that I was definitely going to have a strong downtrend because I would know market analysis, market structure. I've done my technical analysis. So if you took that trade and you brought it to the chart and you looked at this, then you would know that I can do take profit 2. But if you're not familiar with that or you're still learning it, then you want to stop at take profit 1. Don't get greedy because you know, just because they give you 3 take profits, this is just my recommendation, but just because they give you 3 take profits, you don't want to just jump out there and take it. And so if I did take profit 1 and I saw it about to hit take profit 1, then move your stop loss up in here and then adjust it to take profit 2. But don't just jump out there to take profit 3 when you don't know the complete market analysis and you don't know exactly how you do that. So with that being said, as you can see, this one also hit take profit 2 and it hit take profit 3. So you're talking about, let me put this at the beginning. You're talking about 20 pips. Then I got 35 and then 43. So getting started, 20 pips is awesome. 20 pips is great. Then knowing some market analysis, adding my own little analysis to it if I wanted to, then now I'm at 42, 43 pips based on the accuracy of your take profit. So do I have any questions, any comments? Okay. Now, another currency pair. Another currency pair that he pulled was, once again, this is the 22nd. And as you can see, because they're not coming all day, all the time, but they're coming consistently enough that it's a significant, it can make us do a significant, it can do something significant to your profit. It definitely will. So if I see that this is where this was caught, and I put the arrow there to show you the time. That's the only reason that the arrow is there. That's the time. So what you see is what he did is he called it, and then he looked at the market conditions and maybe the news, and then he called for you to close it. So he called for you to close this trade. And so this trade was closed just a little bit later. So what you're getting from that is the fact that you got somebody that's concerned about your well-being. You got somebody that's concerned, that's sending out this information, that's sending these signals. You have someone that is consistently staying on top of the market. He's consistently in there, so it's not a blanket signal, and then you just have to go for it and make your own decision as far as when you get out, when you don't get out. But his analysis was correct, because he stayed in the trade. You can see that it actually hit take profit 1. So this trade actually hit take profit 1. So had you stayed in the trade, you would have taken profit, but he called you to come out because it was a lot of consolidation. It might have been some news. I know he closed it due to market conditions. So that means that he's concerned, that they are concerned, IML is concerned about your well-being over just trying to catch a quick profit. Because every trade, guess what? We don't have to take every trade. It's all about taking the trades where you're comfortable. So whatever the market conditions was, he said, it obviously didn't affect it, but we didn't know it at the time. So he sent the signal. He sent the signal to come out of the trade. And now when you look, you see that his analysis was correct, because what his analysis showed you is that you would actually have taken profit, and you would have took profit at take profit 1. So, and once again, a little bit over 20 pips. So you're talking about 22 pips. So, any questions? Questions, comments? And then there's another one that is also on here that I already have marked up for you. So this one was actually a buy, and I wanted to show you a buy. So this is when the trade was called. So we called the trade. However, look how long we stayed in consolidation. And that's another thing. You don't want to get to where you don't want to get nervous when you're trading, because the trade was called. It was definitely called for you to go into profit. It was definitely called. So what I'm showing you right now is this is not what you have to do. You're not doing this heavy lifting, but I'm showing you how you know for a fact that these trades are valuable, that these trades are good, that these trades, that they have your best interest at heart. So when this trade was called, this is to show you that every trade is not gonna hit right away. These trades, the market has to go through its cycles, and then the market will actually hit and the market will take profit. But so don't think that just because you enter the trade at that moment, you're gonna automatically go into profit. So what happened is this trade actually hit take profit 1, it hit take profit 2, and it hit take profit 3. So based on where you were, take profit 1 is 25 pips. That's 25 pips. Take profit 2 is 38. Take profit 3, you're looking at 55 pips. So you're talking about the potential to go anywhere from 25 to 55 pips to put you in profit when you did not have to do any of the heavy lifting. You did not have to do anything. You didn't have to do anything but know how to enter the trade, because he's giving you the information. He's sending the signal information to you. So that's 4 of the trades that came out on these power trades that we just analyzed. Do I have any questions or any comments?
So once again, for you, those of you who are guests and you're just absorbing this information the very first time, once again, I want to just reiterate, as you're learning how to do the analytics on your chart, as we just went over those 4 trades for a brand new person, day 1, once we show you and teach you how to enter and exit a trade, all you have to simply add the understanding. And so with those 4 trades, you were right around 125 pips day 1. That's the power of understanding how to take full advantage of every tool that we have. The web analyzer is literally designed day 1 to put you in a position of profit as you're learning. And as you become more astute with the additional things that we're going to be teaching you with the different candles, understanding market structure and market pattern. But we're so excited to know that we can deliver immediately upon you enrolling into the academy, and most importantly, put you in a position of profit. So I want you to really appreciate how to take full advantage. And for those of you who have not had the opportunity to engage in your demo account or live account, whatever the case may be, once again, I just want to help you understand, for the last month, over 2,200 pips have been taken advantage of without anyone having to do the heavy lifting. So once again, appreciate this information and appreciate the value. So for those of you who have busy schedules, you're trying to figure out which currency pairs, this is why this is so important for you to understand how to maximize what this tool offers you.
So thank you so much, Mr. Rogers. And as you can see, once again, I'm going to take you back. This is tier 1. What we just went over is tier 1. That means all you got to do is copy and paste. You didn't have to do any analysis. The experts are doing all the work. They're doing it all. But when you want to come to little or no analysis, that's where these power trades are. So as you begin to learn, you can still take advantage of the London payout, but then at the same time, you can begin to do your analysis. So if we go back to the app, just to kind of walk you through what the web analyzer is, so you can begin to understand what it is and how it operates. These are each one of these. You have the 5-minute chart, you have the 15-minute chart, the hour, the 4-hour, and the daily. So that's going to correspond with what you're looking to do. If you're scalping, then of course I'm going to be on the lower time frames. If I'm looking for swing trades, then I'm going to be looking at the higher time frames. Once again, these candles. As I look at the candles, as you can see that these are the Japanese candles, but yet we're all going to see them differently. And so what this does and what it does and what it's going to do is what it's going to do is it gives you the opportunity to overlay it and to say, you know what, this is what I see. This works better for me. So when we first logged on here, there was a completely different strategy loaded on here, and the screen looked completely different. So each educator has their tools that they use preloaded into their strategy. So right now I'm on the MAM power trades, and as you can see, look at what it looks like. It looks a whole lot different. He's using 4 different indicators, but yet if I go back to what was on there initially, which was ECC, this is this might be a little bit different for you, but the only indicator, the only tool that she's using the Ikimochu clouds, and then you're talking about the RSI. So, but yet I'm looking at the exact same candles. I'm looking at the exact same foreign exchange market. So it's all about what tools and what strategies are going to fit you and how you're going to use it. Now, you also, I want to highlight that when you look at these, they're broken down by potential sale and they're broken down by a buy. So they're color coordinated. And also, you see the strategy that I'm on, the ECC. But if I change it back, I'm just going to change it back to ma'am. Now look, it's going back to ma'am power trades. So I'm looking at the same thing, but I have the strategy that I want to use. It changes it on the screen, but it also gives you the confirmation off to the side. It's going to tell you the time that it was called, and then it's also UTC and local, but then it's also going to give you the time pass for 10 minutes. So this actually was called 10 minutes ago. So you always know where you are with the market. And here we go. Every time you hear that cha-ching, that means I got a new trade coming in. So I don't have to sit in front of my computer. I don't have to be right here because now I have a new trade. I have another trade coming in. Now, something else I definitely want to show you. As I'm changing over, do I have any question or comments in regards to the web analyzer and what we just went over for tier 1? Any questions, any comment? Well, also, let me show you this before we change over. Cryptocurrency. You can trade cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is not closed on the weekends. So you have the opportunity and the availability to trade all the time. And then I wanted my indices, my indexes, and then my metals. So what do you want to trade and how do you want to trade it? It's all right here. And remember, when we looked back on that first page and I looked down at the different strategies that are available, they tell you in parentheses, like, okay, I could trade, this is good for crypto. This is good for foreign exchange and crypto. This is good for foreign exchange and crypto. So this is just good for the foreign exchange market. So what strategy do you want? All you have to do is go through the education as you begin learning. So yes, you take advantage of tier 1. You continue to take advantage of tier 1. I still take advantage of the London payout. However, where am I at right now? I'm able to go through and utilize this information. Now, I definitely want to highlight something else that also helps you while you're beginning, or even no matter how advanced you are. This is definitely something that is going to put you in profit. So these are the pivots. And this, all I did is go to imlpivots.com. So if I go into the foreign exchange market, there are 2 strategies in the pivots that you can take advantage of. So all I have to, on strategy 1, actually, I want to start with strategy 2. So I'm going to select one off of strategy 2. Just let me get it. That's user error. It defaulted back to strategy 1. So let me pull it back up the way I'm trying to show you. Now, with this strategy, what you see is so many ways to profit on the pivots. It is so many ways to profit on the pivots, okay? Now, if I come over and to see these pivots have already adjusted. The pivots adjust automatically. They definitely adjust automatically. So what you see, I want to show you before they adjust, what you see is the pivots. You see the pivots within this time frame. And as what you can see is that the pivot in the middle is your pivot. That's where the market turns. In the middle is your pivot, and that's where the market turns. So you're going to have your ultimate resistance, and you're going to have your ultimate support. So it's going to go from 0 to 3 for support, and R5 to R8 for your resistance. Now, understand when the market trades, as the market is trading, the reason why the pivots adjust is because this is the center of where the market is at that time. But understand that 45% of what you're trading and 45% of what you're doing is going to take place between S3 and S5. And so what you notice, they're going to give you they're going to tell you where to enter. They're going to give you your entry price. They're going to give you exactly what you need to do. Most of the time, it's right here at P4. The reason why we just happen to catch one that's adjusting. So as you can see, this used to be P4. It used to be in the middle, but it adjusted. So this is where the sell stop is. And then they're going to give you also your take profit. So as you can see, the system adjusts as your pivots adjust. And you have, if the market gets outside of the R8 or outside of the S0, then what you're going to have is it 95% of the chance, if it gets to that second line outside of that, 95% of the time the market pulls back. But it's that 5% of the time that it does not. Why does it do that? 95% of the time that it does not. This mouse is super sensitive. 95% of the time that it does not, then that's when the pivots go ahead and adjust. So as you can see, pivots actually adjusted, and that's what. So that's why we have new pivots right here. But in looking at this, let me go back to one. Okay, so they're going to give you your entry point, which is normally around P4, but as you can see, they gave you a stop loss, they gave you a buy right here, and they gave you a partial closing. So this one is already in motion. This trade is already active. Let me see if they have one that's not. So what I do is I just walk you through one that is active, and that's okay. So they're going to give you your buy stop. So this is not saying take it right now. So they're giving you a buy stop. So what this is predicting is that the market is going to continue to push up, and then it's going to come back around. And when it does that, you can enter the market here at the pivot point. And so what you're going to do is you're going to continue to see where the pivots actually, you're going to continue to see where you can profit from the pivots. So what do I have on this strategy too? What do I have? I can enter when the market is going up or down. I can enter at my P4. Then I can take my profit at my R8, or I can take my profit at my S0. That's one way to trade this chart. Another way to trade this chart is from R6 to R2. So just so you can get in mind what that means, from P4, I'm on the hour chart. So from P4 to R8, that's 121 pips. If that's the way it's called, because it's going to call it, it's going to let you know. But if I see the trend, so if I would have traded, I knew that this was going up. And if I would have traded this from S2 to S6, then that would have been another 120 pips. Or as you're learning, you can actually trade from pivot to pivot. So if I just want to go from pivot to pivot, that's an opportunity for 30 pips. So when you look at this strategy, and when you look at what's happening, what's going on, There are so many different ways for you to be in profit. Now, another thing that you're looking at is the fact that here we are, P4. So this one actually gave you the buy. They called the buy for you. And what happened? What do you notice? I noticed that the market's turning. I noticed that, yes, I was in a downtrend. I definitely was in a downtrend, but the market turned. And when it turned, now it is actually activated, and that's why you see the arrow, because I actually got to that buy. So we actually entered that trade. So yes, you can still actually enter that trade right now. And this one actually going up to R8 would be 78 pips. So that's 78 pips that I could profit from this strategy alone. Now, if I go to strategy 1, we just talked about how the market can go outside of that range. And when it goes outside of that range, now when it goes outside of that range, the pivots are going to adjust. So what strategy 1 does is it focuses on the pivots moving outside of the range. What strategy 2 does is it focuses on the market staying within the range. And strategy 1 focuses on the market coming back into the pivots from outside of the range. So as you can see what happened, the pivots adjusted. They actually add the -1 and the -2, or the +1 line and the +2 line that I was just referring to. So they actually add that. Now, when it pulls back into there, I can trade. I begin my trade at the S0 and I go to my pivot. So, or you can trade from each one. So these are nothing but your support and resistance lines. So if I was marking the chart up on my own, these pivots are nothing but support and resistance lines. And the one in the middle is the center of everything happened. That's why it's called a pivot. So do I have any questions or comments? Because I definitely want to show you how you can initially in your first 30 days, just put yourself in profit from being on a web analyzer and just literally going with the London payout where I'm doing no analysis, and then beginning to do some analysis, whether on the web analyzer and or the pivots. Because with these two platforms and these two strategies, you could literally be in profit in your first 30 days. Now, I'm not making no income claims, but I'm telling you that it can definitely happen. All you have to do is get into the academy, begin learning the system. But with this, with the London payout, all I need to know is how to enter a trade in my MetaTrader 4. All I need to know is how to enter a trade. Once I do that, now I can profit from the London payout power trades. Pivots is anytime you log on here, you got at least that they call 500. I mean, and then if I click this box, it tells me that I have a buy. I have a buy at entry. This is my entry point. So this is a call price. They give me my stop loss and my take profit. So they're literally telling you where you can get into this trade and put yourself in profit. So it's all you have to do is get in, jump in, practice. That's all you have to do is just get in. And then the candles that I love, which confirm the trade, as you can see on here, they do have the moving averages. They do have that. However, I'm going to always divert back to my Hikinashi candles. Hikinashi candles, they just focus on a trend. Now, as you can see, every time I analyze something, I was using the Japanese candles. But when I put the Hikinashi candles on there, what it tells me is I have what is my trend doing? What is my trend doing? So if you notice, when I came back and I entered into this trade, because I'm moving back into the pivots, my Hikinashi candles are flat across the bottom. If they're flat across the bottom, that means that it is a strong buy. It is a strong buy. Now, when you look here, right here, specifically, it did turn colors because the buy, it was initially green, but the sellers ultimately began to win that battle. So when you start seeing that wick form, that's a wick. And when you see that wick form, what's happening is that my trend is reversing. So you had a very strong buy. Then I know that my trend is reversing. So I'm definitely going to get out of the trade. So even if I'm trying to get to that S2 or that R6, I was right there. I was right there. But the Japanese candles will tell me if I actually hit it or not. So you still see it was so very close. But what I do know is that my wick formed on my candles, and I know that I need to get out of the trade because my trend is reversing. Hikinashi candles focus on a trend. I didn't do any analysis with them, but the Hikinashi candles focus on the trend. And as you can see, then the trend actually reversed. And you get some that's flat, but these were not strong because I have little wicks pointing out of the top. So when I want to trade, when I want to use my Hikinashi candles, I definitely want to where they're flat across the top. They're flat. They're flat. Strong buy. Strong buy. Strong buy. I have a wick. Guess what? My trend is reversing, which it did. The buyers were winning out here. So this is also going to tell you how you can trade. So what does that mean? That means that I can trade from pivot to pivot. I can trade from pivot to pivot as well. So you looking at these Hikinashi candles, I can pay. So my support lines above the pivot is the resistance lines. The pivot is just the center where it turns. So you can actually, you take those candles and they help you confirm the trend of the market. So what we just covered this evening was how you can dive into the market, how you can, once you begin learning, how you can get into the market and put yourself in profit in your first 30 days, because that's what we're designed to do. We talk about enrolling, and then it's enroll, learn, profit. When you enroll, you learn the tools. You utilize all the tools from the pivots, the levels, the web analyzer. Use the tools. Put yourself in profit. Learn the tools to find out what's going to work best with your personality. And then it's going to put you in profit. But the reason why we wanted to show you, and I wanted to show you the London Payout tonight, I took the London Payout, showed you how you can just take these trades, but I didn't want you to blindly take them. That's why I went back and actually showed you how I marked it up on a chart to show you the accuracy of what he's calling and how you can literally put yourself in profit. So are there any questions or any comments before we transition this call? Now's the time. We have about 2 minutes before we transition. Questions, comments? Okay, so what that means that you get into the academy, you log in, you go through your IML Academy. And in that IML Academy, it shows you how to set up your demo account. It shows you how to actually enter a trade. So with that being said, once you get that done, just to recap, to show you how do I get there? How do I get to the London Payout? When I log into my web analyzer, this is the first page that you see. I'm going to click my London Payout, and it's going to automatically pull it up. Now, if for some reason that it doesn't, in the power trades, or if you're doing something else on here, in the power trades, how do I get back to it? I click London Payout, and it's going to actually pull up the London Payout. When I'm done with it, I simply close it. London Payout is right here. And he's get all day. I'm thinking about a sale. Here is an update. Here is an update. Here is an update. But guess what? The Telegram is in the group. It's in the chat. I just put the Telegram for this in the chat. So before you log off of here, make sure that you go to the Telegram, get into the Telegram, but also the YouTube channel subscribe so you can get a copy of the training.
Hey,
That's what all the training is.
I have a question about the Telegram. So I went to that site, and that link doesn't, once you join the Telegram, it doesn't bring you into anything. So
It might need to populate, but when you do click in there, then you're not going to get the trades in. You're not going to get the trades in the in the Telegram. The Telegram is just going to get you the alerts when he sends out an alert, and then you have to come log back into the web analyzer to actually get the trades.
no, I get it, but that link doesn't go anywhere. So if you put it in a web browser.
I put it in. When you clicked it, it didn't do anything?
No.
Now, if you're on your computer or on your cell phone?
Computer.
That might be why, because if I have a Mac, and on my Mac, I can't do it for whatever reason.
Okay.
So I have to do it on my cell phone.
So do you have to have the Telegram app?
Yes, you have to have the Telegram app to access that. So do you have the Telegram app on your phone?
I do. So when you do that, how do you copy that link into your phone? Do you put it in the search?
We'll text it to you, so you'll be able to just click on the link.
All right, cool.
I'll text it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's another hand up, Miss Ansley. Do you have a question?
Yes. What is the best time to trade in the London Payout?
It's not the best time. The alerts come out simultaneously. Initially, when they put it together, it was for the London breakout in general, but they've added it, so those are just coming out, and he does all the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is simply copy and paste, and if you choose to confirm what he's sent out, then you'll do your own analytics on that.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So and as you'll notice when you get into that Telegram group, it's just to add to what Mr. Rogers just said, because it definitely started. That's why it's called the London Payout, but it's not the only market that he does. But when he sends his trades, they are, most of the time, they are market execution. So if you look at this, so it's market execution. So whenever you get the alert, just know that it's a market execution. You can see all this is market execution. That means he's sending you the alert and it's time to take the trade at that moment. So any more questions, comments? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for joining us this evening, because what this call is designed to do is designed to put you in a position of profit. But this is a power-packed evening.